This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Torque toy hauler. The model number is T322. Okay, so this is not a floor plan video. It's more of a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work. Okay, so we'll start here at the door side rear. And as you can see, you have power stabilizers. So one switch controls both rear and another switch controls both fronts. It's very simple, just extend and retract. You don't lift the trailer with them, you're just stabilizing it, okay? Okay, this is your garage area. We'll go inside in a second. You have a power awning with LED strip. Your water hookups are here. So you have your city water hookup here. Most common way to get water to the trailer is through city water hookup. Now if you're camping someplace that doesn't have city water, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. So even if you're boondocking, you can still have all the plumbing working. This is just a quick connect for this coiled sprayer right here. Okay. And these are both black tank flushes. You have two black tanks in this trailer because you have two toilets. So this is the rear toilet flush, that's the front toilet flush. The thing to remember, after you pull your valves, the valves are on the other side of the trailer. After you pull the valves, your black tank valves, if you leave them in the open position, you can hook a hose up right here at the dump station, turn it on, and it'll spray out the inside of the tank. It'll clean off the sensor so you get a good reliable reading, that sort of thing. The only thing to remember, like it says on the sticker, make sure the dump valves are open before you turn the water on. And then we just have some power here. Okay, so your outside cooking area, you have a TV bracket and your hookups here. You have running water, and this is your spout here. Okay, you have a griddle, a gas griddle, runs an LP. Now I left this hose hanging down so you can see it. This is the LP line here, and that's the quick connect. That connects to this quick connect right here under the trailer. Okay, so just keep in mind you've got to plug this in to get gas to the appliance. Okay, and right now you can see it hooks on back here, and that's where it terminates. Okay, we also have a small refrigerator. Okay, moving on, or I say looking up, we've got some outside speakers. This is your this right here is the furnace vent. This is your water heater here. This works on both gas and electric. So keep in mind that never run the water heater without water, and never turn on the electrical element or the gas burner. There's a heating element, electrical element right behind this cover here, right? And this is the switch for it, off and on. So that's how you can run it on electric. Never run it without water in it. This is the gas burner, obviously, and the gas burner has a switch inside. I'll show you that when we get inside. That's mainly used for quick recovery when you're showering, that sort of thing, when you need a lot of hot water. It's not on demand, but it definitely increases the amount of hot water. Okay. This is the drain plug here. It's also got an anode rod on it. Takes an 1 1/16 6-point socket. Okay. So you have to have one of those with you, plus a 6-inch extension and a ratchet or a breaker to break it free. Okay, so that's where you drain it at. Alrighty, never open. If your water's in there, it's under pressure. Keep in mind that this is going to shoot out of here like a cannonball. When you open it, and if it's hot water, it could scald you or worse. So first, never work on it when it's hot, and always relieve the pressure. You would shut off the city water, for example, or the water pump, whichever you're using. Then you would open some hot water valves so the pressure's out of the tank. Then take this out. Otherwise, it's going to come out of there, like I said, like a cannonball or something. So keep that in mind, okay? This is your front stabilizer jack switch. Okay, this is your dump hose. That's the cover for your water heater. You have the kill switch for your battery right here, as you can see. That's just a docket for a tire monitor attachment. You have 2 different cranks here. First of all, this goes up here like this. I'll put it on later, but that just is just a cover for that. You don't really need it. They probably didn't put it on because it's inside. Usually this is outside on the frame. So, okay. So this particular crank here, you can see it's got a cylinder with a slot cut in it. If you can see that, let me walk around here for you. This one will work for your power stabilizers. If you go here to the off-door side, you can see that there's a shaft with a pin through it right there. Well, this will fit right on there. So the bottom line is you can crank your stabilizers manually in an emergency if you have to, okay? Now you had a 3/4 inch crank in there also. That 3/4 inch crank is for your power tongue jack. If it happens to fail for any reason, you can pull this rubber plug out of the top, put a 3/4 inch crank on there and crank it manually also. So that's what those are for, just for emergency. Okay. Alright, so you have 2 LP tanks full with automatic changeover regulator. You saw your power tongue jack. You have a deep cycle marine battery, and I showed you the kill switch for the battery here, the disconnect switch. Okay. Okay, so on this side you have your generator. There's switches in the bedroom, right? You can also do this manually from here if you want to. Keep it in mind, okay? Most people do it inside, but you can do it from here. There's the exhaust. Now you have to have, I can't swear on this one because I didn't prep it, but usually you have to have 5 gallons at least in the tank in order to run the generator, just so you know. But you know, we can check on it for you if you need it. Also, pay attention to the oil. You always want to check the oil regularly, but there's an oil change schedule that comes with it. So you have to look at either go online and look at the material or look at the material that comes with you, but you need to follow that schedule. That's very important, especially the first few oil changes. So keep that in mind too, okay? This is just in case you wanted to purchase a solar battery charger. It would plug in there and it just would charge your battery. Just a little kit. This is your tank for your generator right here. That's the fill for that. There's also let me get this straight here. There's also another gas tank, which is right here, and that's for your fuel pump or your gasoline pump with the handset. Okay. Alrighty. Got music blaring there. Hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. Okay, so we have valves all along here. I just want to point out to you here, that's a black valve right there. You can tell by how wide it is. The handles are usually gray and black, but if they're not, the wider valves are always the black tank, which is toilet water and waste, and then the other ones are gray. So these are just service panels for your refrigerator. You don't really have to go in there. Here we have your rear black tank here, for example. Okay. This is a 30 amp system, so you get a 30 amp power cord with a reducer, so you could reduce it down to a 20 if you had to plug it in someplace that doesn't, in an emergency, that doesn't have a 30 amp hookup. Okay. Alrighty. There's a spare tire under there. These are just cable and satellite coaxes through into the entertainment area of the trailer. Your ladder, you just pull the pins and it folds about a foot away from the, or less away from the trailer. You can access the roof really easily, which is important because the manufacturer will state that every 60 days you should inspect your roof. Just take a look at it, make sure there's no damage to it. To the roofing material or the attachments by, let's say, low branches or road debris, stuff like that. And always look at the sealant, make sure it's good and tight and there's no need for any touch-up, that sort of thing, okay? That should be part of your regular maintenance. This is your garage door. I'm not going to bring it down because I'm working with one hand here. But when you come to pick up, we'll take a look at the whole thing with you. Keep in mind there's a housing up there. That's for a backup camera if you wanted it. It's the Furion kit. So if you're interested in putting a backup camera on there, it's pre-wired for that. Okay, these are just garage vents. Okay, so let's go inside here. Yeah, let's go inside. We're still cleaning here, so okay. Mosquito. Okay, so to turn your water pump on, these are all lights here, by the way. You can turn on your awning light or the porch light by toggling that one switch. Right now we've got the awning lights on, as you can see. These other two switches here are your water heater on gas right here. See, there's the fault. Now you turn on the electric heating element in the lower left-hand corner outside, if you recall, and then you can start the gas burner here. Always make sure there's water in the tank when you're using it. Also, right now this is in camping mode, right? So it's summerized. It's ready to be used. There's no antifreeze in the system. The water heater valves, the water heater has valves on the back, are in the correct position. Always make sure when you're switching the valves and you're operating it to winterize it and dewinterize it, somebody knows what they're doing. It's not complicated, but the valves have to be in the correct position. So keep that in mind. Right now it's set for camping. This is the water pump I told you about. That's for pumping water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. This is also used to pump the antifreeze in when you're winterizing the trailer. That is done. Where did I see it? It's in an unusual place. Let me see. See if I can remember just by... Oh yeah, it was back here. I'll show you. Well, let me do it now. I'm talking about it. I know who the guy who prepped it. I noticed he had left the panel off, so you could see in here. So this panel normally screws onto here, but right here, here's the water pump. Right. There's a valve that this is the uptake line for the antifreeze. It would go into a gallon of antifreeze. You can see that there's a valve right here. That valve will switch you between this line and the water tank, the fresh water tank. Right now it's set to draw from the fresh water tank like it should be because it's in camping mode, right? But before you winterize it in the fall, you're going to turn it to the other position so it draws through this line here. Keep that in mind. So that's where all this stuff is done, right there. And that's the pump, of course. Okay? Now the back of the water heater also has valves that you're going to have to, if you don't already know, you may know all this stuff, but I kind of have to assume that you don't just because I got to talk about it. So, but keep that in mind. The reason I tell you that, because every year somebody will not put the valves in the right position when they winterize. They'll do something that'll cause them problems. So just make sure the water heater is empty and bypassed when you put the antifreeze in. Okay. All right. So slide room here. Your awning, power awning switch here. Never leave the awning out unattended, of course. There's all your levels, right? They graduate up in 1/3 increments. You have your thermostat here, which is very simple. You just go through the different modes, right? Very simple. TV and sound system. You also got 3 speaker zones with this. So you got the garage area. You got this area, and then outside. Outside is C. This is A. The other one is B. So 3 speaker zones. This has you can USB drive on it, for example. So you can put all your albums onto one USB stick. It has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly from your phone or your tablet. It has AM/FM radio, so it does everything you need and then some. This HDMI here that you see right there, if you can see it, it's there. That's an in. So if you wanted to go into the system with a let's say a portable Blu-ray player or even a game machine or something for rainy days with kids or something, you could go right into the system through there. Okay. Your microwave works like any other microwave. Your range hood, I got to pick up the pace here. I only got a half hour on each one of these files. So this, I don't know if he's got the gas turned on or not at this point, but you have 3 knobs here in the center for the 3 burners. This one is for the oven, and then this is the sparker. You turn it clockwise. So, I don't know if he's got gas on. Yeah, he does. So, it's that simple. The oven's a little bit different. All the way at the bottom in the back there's a pilot light. Maybe you can see it back there. The thing is, you go to the picture of the pilot light, you depress this, you keep it depressed during the whole lighting procedure, you spark it till the oven lights. Once it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you go to operating temperature. When you shut it off, the pilot light flame goes out, so you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay? Keep that in mind. Always travel with this shut. Alright. What else have we got here? Refrigerator, of course. It's a this is a gas absorption refrigerator. So what that means is that you're going to run it. It says auto right now. Running on auto is the typical way to run it. Auto means it automatically seeks out electricity and uses it. If it can't find it, it'll automatically switch on to gas and light, right? Or if the campground has a power outage, let's say, it'll sense that and it'll automatically light to gas, so it'll spoil your food. So that's a way you want to run it generally. Now you can just change it to just gas like that, and it'll run dedicated to gas. You can pull it down the road, whatever. But either way, it'll end up, if there's no 110 AC, it'll end up on gas anyway if you do it that way. So keep that in mind. And one other thing with this that's unique to this model or this brand is this thing right here is called a thermistor, if you don't know. The thermistor is actually this cable with this cylinder on it that's inside this clip here. The sticker says the higher you go with it, the cooler it is, which is true. So you want to have this, right now it's up all the way. You want to slide this right up on the fin. If it ever comes out, you just pull off that little clip and stick it back in the clip and put it back on the fan, or on the fin, I'm sorry. You're just about always going to run it as high as it goes. Once it starts getting cold outside, you might have to back it down, but just generally speaking, during the summer, you're going to have it up all the way, okay? That's the thermistor. Okay, so, seats. Okay, and they have different configurations and that sort of thing. You can work with that. This device right here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. If it's not, get it serviced. It detects carbon monoxide or LP gas. If it goes off, you shut off the appliances, take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front, figure out what's going on. This device right here is your power converter. This converts AC to DC power. So when you're plugged in, you have 110 AC on this side. You see you got circuit breakers here, and they're labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here. You got 12 volt fuses, and they're labeled. This is also a battery tender, so it's going to sense how much, as long as you're plugged in, it's going to sense how much energy your battery up front has and needs, and it'll always send enough power up there to keep it charged. It'll send, if it's charged, it'll send just a couple amps up there to maintain it. If it's low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever. As long as you're plugged in, it's going to always maintain the battery, okay? Okay. Let's see here. Bathroom is pretty self-explanatory. This is a GFCI. Keep in mind that all the plugs in the trailer, all the receptacles are wired to a GFCI, so everything's GFCI protected. You have fan plus vent lid for this one, so you can raise and lower the lid from down here also. The toilet sits right over, like the toilet in the back does, it sits right over a black tank. So you can see there's your flush lever pedal right there. You can't run it dry. By dry, I'm talking about with nothing in the black tank. You have to have chemical and water in it. So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water, you come in here, you put a dose of chemical, you step on the pedal until a gallon of water or more flows into the tank along with the chemical, then it's all set. If you don't, that's considered running it dry. And first of all, it'll smell terrible. Second of all, it'll get clogged up. And so for each black tank, you have to put chemical and water in there before you start using the toilet. I already explained the black tank flushes to you, so you know about that. Vent up here, TV hookups over here. That's emergency window. You'd push it through like this, like I have already for ventilation, but you would just take a hold of this red tab and pull the screen out, and you can escape during an emergency. All right. This disc with a blue thing on it is telling us this is prep for a digital signal booster. You can scan that code and it'll tell you more about it, but if you wanted to upgrade, a router box would fit right there. It's about maybe 10 or 12 inches square, and then there would be an antenna on the roof. You get much better public Wi-Fi. It's a booster. Your family each would have their device would each log on to that router, and then the router itself logs on to the public Wi-Fi. Okay, that's a good thing. TV hookups here, and then you have your bed lift. Now we're going to show you we're going to talk to you more about the bed lift and everything when you get here. It's pretty simple though. Thing you got to remember, there are pins. You always have to remember to undo the pins when you're moving in different positions, right? This, for example, if you want the bed, the bunk all the way to the top, you raise it all the way, then you would put the pins in and raise and lower this back down, for example. Then you would fold these into the wall position to get them out of the way, right? So that, and then that would create your whole garage basically. You also can put this up all the way, or leave this here, I should say, and bring it down and fold the cushions forward, and you got another bed. So there are a lot of different ways to do it. You also have behind there, you have doors, screen doors. You have a canvas and everything for the garage when it's opened, so bugs can't just fly in, that sort of thing. So it's nice. This is your table under here. You have a temporary table, or this will be your dining area, for example. Or you could actually bring it out here. There's also I don't know where he's got them. Well, we'll talk about that more. There's also a table option for here. I don't know I didn't prep this one, so we'll have to talk about that, because I don't know. Okay, I'll look into that for you. It might all be in here. So, okay. Only thing left is the last bathroom. Same rules apply to chemical and water. And you have a vent up here, right? Here's my knife, still laying there. Okay, so I think that pretty much covers it for us. We can, like I said, this is, you'll look at this right before, while you're looking over the trailer. Then we have more questions, we can talk you through anything, and we'll look at it with you, whatever you need done. Okay, so thank you for purchasing your oh, I know, there it is. This is where the generator operates from. Okay, we'll show you how to prime it and how to start it, although it's pretty simple. You may know all this already. Okay, anyways, thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting your roof seals and roofing material every 60 days. That's important to stay ahead of any problems. You're just protecting your investment, so make sure you take care of that. And when it comes to the plumbing, right now this is in summer mode, so it's ready to be camped in. The valves are in the correct position. Make sure when it comes to winterizing and all that, you understand what you're doing if you don't know, so you don't do any ice damage to the trailer. So make sure you keep after that. It's very simple. It's just a matter of draining the water heater, bypassing it, and then pumping antifreeze through the system. So, okay, thank you very much.